the house the Bharatipuram started actually when my father is first man is to build a five huts, My father is the first huts is started, and after that there is one or two, three, five houses came. That is called that house comes Bari Anjikudi. My father moved 1970 and six, people are like slowly comes like 35 houses. And 35 hertz is what happened actually every dark moon days we have a meeting. And finally that one days have a dark moon meeting. That day is Bharatiyar birthday that day. We had a meeting. So they said is Anjikudje's meaning is very bad and we don't want to say any more five hertz. So we should put a name for our village. So then everybody given a suggestion, different names. So suddenly they asked my opinion also. Suddenly it clicked out my mind. It's Bharatiyar birthday that day, and why not we call Bharatipuram, and next to the Bharati Nivas, and we can call Bharatipuram.
Yeah, Raman took me once to Kottakarai, and I think more than one visit is required to. Definitely more than one visit is required to actually see what the whole place is like. But what I gathered from that visit, he took me around through the Parambuk land where people have started to come in and settle. And then we went into the main core of the village where there was a school, and then there was a nice kulam over there, and it looked a very peaceful village from the surface of it. And I think what we need to build on is the existing natural resources that they already have, such as the water and the nice fresh air that you have over there. And also there are some schools and all which need to be taken to a level where they can be like Udavi School in Chowdi or something which they get more than just education. They also get something what we call as sanskar.
Kottakarai is a very ancient village. Popo and others have realized this, and archaeologically we have seen what a treasure there is. There's a urn field or a burial ground on the edge of Kottakarai which goes back to at least 2000 years ago. And I would see Kottakarai as a focal point of the heritage of this area. I would see you're building an international zone dealing with the role of the soul of the nations. You're giving a future positioning of the nations on earth based on their soul, based on their psychic element. You are not talking about the political grouping. And you've got Bharat Nivas there. And right next to Bharat Nivas, you've got one of the really old villages in this place. So naturally, it would make sense to somehow, in a nice, subtle way, give this village a position around its heritage, around the whole heritage of the Tamil culture, and use that location to showcase it. I think the people of Kottakarai have been more than active members. They have been the earliest people to offer their land to Auroville. They did this at a time when they were barely aware of the cash economy. Most of them sold their land at, they may have been good prices then, but they were throwaway prices, and almost all of them had no idea what to do with the cash. So they traded their sort of root in the soil for some piece of paper which they didn't know what to do, and so it got squandered and disappeared.
For me, Kottakarai is a ground reality even before there was anything called international. They're here since 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years. We have proof from Neolithic times, and when there are new movements of new human requirements based on that land, and we should definitely take into account the realities which are right on the spot. I have nothing more to add than simply tell that these huts which are built in Bharatipuram are part of the game. You know, these people have a different life, a different tradition. They aspire to enter different things than we who come from different places or even far away. And I built even houses, experimental houses for these integrated families in the 73, 74. And I realized it is totally different. The Bharatipuram, when you go there, in our view it's an ugly, how do you say, an ugly pestilence, an old boil. No, it's part of their houses, it's their money, they do it, and without understanding our past, in the context, if you can, to whole of India or to the whole of world, the better, the more you can project into the future. Yeah? And that's a part, for me, it's a very necessary part of development. Yeah?
Villagers have to be given enough knowledge and enough opportunity to having access to knowledge that they can decide their own future. But they also have to have a responsibility of taking up their own works and seeing it through. And there is a distinct lack of that.
If I talk about the galaxy, whatever I have seen, I think everybody, I have not seen single person, even if in the name of actual planning or the group process, people might not be very happy with the planning as such, but nobody has ever opposed galaxy as such. Everybody I have seen more or less, people have been very, very inspired. Even a long-term thing, Bharatipuram or Kottakarai, if resources, all our goodwill, energy initiative permits, it could be a test and pilot case. Even the creation of a master plan, the first master plan, official one, was essentially based on the land protection. In order to protect the land, a master plan was used as a tool, which was a provision under Auroville Foundation. And now the development has come till quite inside. It is, on the one hand, it is quite natural for them to expand. On the other hand, I also see a kind of failure of understanding or perception of this thing and a positive intervention at the right point in time.
You said Kottakarai is in the international zone, but I will say the international zone, even Matri Mandir is in Kottakarai, and only Kottakarai people have given their land to build Matri Mandir, Bharat Nivas, and also now the international zone, most of it is right in Kottakarai is the base for our Auroville project. The very first day when I entered into Auroville, somewhere 27 years ago, 1976, I saw the strong link between Irumbai, Kottakarai and Matri Mandir and the whole Bharat Nivas, the international zone. Those days I don't know it was international zone, but Bharat Nivas, the very Indian pavilion. Then it was a small village, sleepy village, beautiful village, more green around, and the strong presence of the peepal tree in the center of Kottakarai. But for me, Kottakarai is the main living Tamil village. It has to be somehow integrated strongly in our thinking and practically in our master plan. So if we say this is the master plan for Auroville, there should be a bigger column, master plan of Kottakarai. How to integrate both this international culture and the rural Indian village, Tamil heritage cultural village. The very name Kottakarai means Kota is fort, Karai is edge. So it's like an edge of a fort.
I am against forceful removal of people. It has been done in the past and it has proven a failure. But I am positive about the people choosing where they want.
And then perhaps what is needed is just a simple a round of PIA exercises. Yeah, PIA, participatory role appraisal, is a system, is more or less a scientific system, where you go into the village and you include everybody and everything that is available as resources in the village, including people, people's knowledge, etc. And you see, you make a baseline, and then you go from there and you ask people what do they really want and where they want it, and are they satisfied with the existing system, and what do they want to change, and all this kind of things.
Then a spiritual personality says you go and build a city. It is not a city that one engineers and architects are planning, and planning is necessary, but it is something else.
When a new city comes up, the first people who are affected will be the local people who are very legitimate, very legitimate. I mean, if I am a villager, I will think, why should a city come and I am thrown out? it will be wonderful for the whole world. What do I care? If I am not wonderful,
Yes.
what is there? Otherwise, if I can go a person after eating nice food, writing about hunger. No, we should be hungry and write. Then, well, there is a meaning. He has felt it. So, because you should undergo the experiences, that's the one thing. So that it will be real. So that's why if you don't stay in a village, how can you talk about villages?
Once I met Baba Amte in 1996, and he told me that the last thing you want to do for anybody is to make them welfare addict. So he said, if you do that, you've done more damage than anybody else in this who's come there to do that. So it has to be participatory. It has to be not just telling people that, okay, we have come with a lot of money and we want to do this for you. People will just sit back and wait for those things to happen. That's the last thing you want to do, and